Okay, let's talk about the non-utility benefits of energy conservation. Now, when I say non-utility, these are actual hard dollars. Most of the benefits anyway are very hard dollars. They really do happen and they really do represent profits for a company. They just don't occur in the utility part of the budget. In 2012, a team of authors wrote about this, and the paper was published in Energy Engineering. And this paper was titled CORE, which represents Capital, Operations, Recognition, and Environmental Benefits. And you'll see why we called it that. But just to summarize this, these non-utility benefits are worth a double-digit improvement to energy savings. You can read the paper and get into the details, but I'll give you the high-level overview. That paper was also used to help write this paper by the International Energy Agency, which is now available free, and it's also on our website as well. In this paper, the IEA paper goes in even farther to societal benefits. But being who I am, I like to focus on the tangible benefits to a building. And a real quick analogy for this is to say that people are like buildings. On the people side, if you don't overeat, you're going to save money in food costs, but you're probably going to live longer and have less medical bills, okay? And that's the non-food cost benefit. Same with a building. If you don't waste energy, okay, beyond the energy savings, your equipment will run less, you'll have less maintenance, material, and labor. And we're going to show you some of these other benefits as well. Just real simply, if you take a look at a lighting fixture before 99 watts and you go to a more efficient lighting fixture, 33 watts or LED or whatever, you are going to save a lot of energy, maybe 70% or 60%, but you save 100% when you turn the lights off. And then you also get these maintenance and labor benefits. So what we did in the paper is we broke down the additional benefits into 8 categories. So you have material, labor, avoided capital investment, avoided procurement cost, avoided purchases of carbon offsets. Now, a lot of people say that's a soft cost, but no, that is a hard cost, and I'll explain that in a few minutes. You might also get some soft benefits that might be harder to measure, such as enhanced image, public relations, etc. But another hard cost is sales tax environmental penalties. And this is another soft one that might be hard to measure, but is incredibly impressive. So impressive, we did a whole webinar just on that, and that's in the series. Now, just to go through these in detail. So reduce maintenance material costs. Let's say your lights you put in occupancy sensors, or you turn the lights off more often. They run less, so they last longer in a calendar year. Labor, say an HVAC system, if it's on less, means less filter replacements. Avoided capital is a little trickier. Let's say you do some energy conservation in your building and you realize that you don't actually need to buy that chiller that you were planning on buying, the extra chiller. I've seen this with air compressors where they fix all the leaks and they decide, hey, we don't need to keep buying more compressors. That's an avoided capital investment, and that can be worth millions of dollars, so that's worth mentioning. Along with the avoided capital purchase, you might have procurement costs such as permits, engineering, labor, etc., that also go along when you buy anything. And if you avoid buying it, you avoid all those associated costs as well. Now, purchases of carbon offsets, that's worth mentioning. Anytime if you're in a company or organization or university that is trying to be sustainable, most likely you're buying carbon offsets. And so if you consume less kilowatt hours in a year, that's less carbon offsets you have to buy to meet your carbon goals. In a couple slides, I'll show you that companies are doing this, and this is a real extra cost that companies are incurring. This last one, number 6, is a little bit hard to quantify because it's hard to measure. So let's take a look at things that are going on in real colleges. And again, this is even dated. Way back in 2011, there are sustainability report cards out there where they're grading different universities on how well they're doing in their sustainability mission. You can see this, just a quick survey. And again, this is a 2011. This has continued on today. But these organizations, these universities, as well as many companies, I can think of like Whole Foods Market or Pepsi or Coke, they all have sustainability mission statements. Even ConocoPhillips has a sustainability mission statement. And part of their goals are to be carbon neutral. So when you reduce energy consumption, you reduce the amount of carbon offsets that organization has to buy. And that is a real dollar cost that does not show up on a utility bill. Okay, let's move on to reduce sales tax and environmental penalties. Many engineers forget about this, but if you save energy, you don't have to pay tax on the energy you didn't use. And some of these taxes and penalties can be quite significant. You'll notice 7% and 8%. So worth looking at your utility bill. Look for extra fees or things that are tied to the amount of energy you use, and it's some type of percentage tacked on top of that. Now, building value is something that we have a whole webinar just on as well. And this is an example that does the math behind it. In this particular survey or this particular paper, we didn't survey these 2 items because we were serving government facilities who don't pay taxes and aren't selling their buildings. But in real buildings outside of the survey of this paper, you'll find that this improved building value is very significant. Watch the other webinar if you want more detail on that. Just to show you how prevalent this is, we surveyed a bunch of facility managers, and 92% said they did experience reduced maintenance material costs that occurred outside of the utility budget. 71% said they experienced that in labor. The percentages are quite high in most of these. Now, carbon offsets not so much, but this survey was done in 2011, 2012. I bet that number is a little higher. But I'm not really married to any of these percentages. If you experience some of these benefit categories in your facility, you might think about calculating what the value is. We did a sample, just real rough guess here, and said, okay, we'll get material and we'll get labor, maybe carbon offsets, and maybe sales tax environmental penalties. And so we only claimed 50% of the available categories. We left out all these ones that I'm circling right now. And even with only 50% of the categories claimed, the extra benefits were worth an additional 31% of whatever the savings were. So that's significant. Now that might be on the high end, but let's take the low end. Let's just take the ones we know are going to happen. Okay, maintenance and labor. If you reduce your energy consumption, you're going to save both of these. That translates into an extra 11% when you add those two numbers together. So if you save $100, you're going to save $11 more in non-utility benefits at a minimum, and that could go up to 31, or it could go higher depending on how many categories you choose. You can look at the paper and get more detail if you want to go farther. One thing I like about the paper is they actually have the template of the calculations, and you can go through and figure out what the reduced maintenance material costs are using these kinds of examples. Now, again, this technology changes all the time, so you might substitute an LED technology for what we're recommending here, but you can see the calculations and you can very quickly do this calculation for your own facility. In conclusion, these additional benefits, as we have shown through the survey, are very highly probable, and all you have to do is read the paper, pick which benefits apply to you, and use the paper to estimate your extra percent value from energy conservation. If you do not have access to the paper or you don't know where to find it, you can go to Profitable Green Solutions, go to Resources, and then look for this paper here. It's called Non-Utility Benefits from Energy Conservation. You can also Google it in energy engineering called Core Benefits, and you probably can find it in a few other places as well. I think we even put it on our Facebook and Twitter pages. Just to review, these are non-utility benefits of energy conservation. They do happen, they just don't occur in the utility budget, but they are hard dollars. And I hope this helps you sell more projects, and we'll see you in the next section.